Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to talk to you guys briefly about this trafficking issue that we had here lately. And before we jump into that, it's kind of funny that this all coincided with The Sound of Freedom, right? So The Sound of Freedom, if you haven't heard, it's a movie articulating the life or the time of Tim Ballard, right? The guy that started the Underground Railroad, the Underground Railroad project. It's played by Jim Caviezel. And this movie is just bringing awareness to the trafficking issue and the child trafficking issue worldwide. It is a phenomenal movie. It is a very, very important movie to go see. It is hard to stomach, but it is really, really important that you guys go and support that and go watch it. So I'll put a link down below if I can, hopefully I can find it, but there's a link that they give you actually at the end of the movie to share it and be able to buy tickets for other people and that sort of thing. But even if you don't go watch it, buy the tickets. It is just a terrific movie, and you need to support that cause. There's a lot of kind of misinformation about Tim Ballard right now, and guys, anytime you have somebody really trying to do good work and stop something that is this evil, you will get people coming out of the woodwork to crush them. So be very careful about what you believe on that. I've had several friends of mine, people that watch this channel, that have texted me and said, hey, you know, Tim Ballard's a scumbag, etc., etc. I don't know the guy. I've never met him before in my life, but he, from all practical intents, it doesn't look like he's a scumbag. It looks like people are trying to crush this film, and they're failing right now, and we need to continue to make them fail. Now, let's just say, for sake of argument, that Tim Ballard is this horrible scumbag that people want to make him out to be, and that we don't want to support that, etc. The bottom, and maybe his exploits in the movie are lies. It doesn't really matter. The point of the movie is to bring awareness to child trafficking. Let's do that, and let's spread that video like wildfire and keep it going, keep it crushing at the box office, just to make sure that we bring awareness to this issue, and because this is not a comfortable issue to talk about. Now, that all being said, a couple of days ago, there was a young girl in Birmingham. Now, y'all know we're in Birmingham, so this happened an hour from where our house is, so it's all around us. But a young girl in Birmingham, she was about probably 24-ish years old, and I guess she's a nursing student. And after class, she was picked up by traffickers. And the way that she was picked up is what's really interesting here. The ploy that was used. Now, we know that these people have a very depraved sense about them. Their depravity knows no bounds, certainly, and they will do anything that they can, and they use children as if they're material objects, and they're really just disgusting and awful people. But what they did is they put a toddler on the side of the road, on the side of the highway, and this girl stopped for the toddler and to help the toddler. She called 911, and then she called her family. While she was on the phone with her family, she got out of her car to go help the toddler. And at that point in time, the traffickers took her. They took off her Apple Watch, they took her phone, threw it, and she must have fought back because I guess her wig came off too. So you know she's fighting back if her wig came off. So good on her for fighting back. And she was taken, okay? Just like on the movie, taken, right? She was taken. Cops got there was no toddler. They found everything on the ground, and her car was even still running. So a couple things to take away on this. One, we teach classes on this, guys, and we teach a lot of women's self-defense classes as far as pistol training. We do seminars in Birmingham all the time. We got one coming up in August. I do ones that are certified for the Alabama Real Estate Commission for CE credits for the real estate agents around here. And we teach these classes all the time. This is all the stuff that we talk about, is how to avoid these type of situations and these kind of jugging issues and stuff like that. So I want you guys to really consider getting out and getting some training in your local area. Find somebody around you that can do it, and if you can't find somebody around you, go fly and take some training. And if you're going to carry a gun for self-defense, you should take one training class a year, period, from different instructors, not from the same instructors every time. From different instructors, you should take one training class every single year. If you're going to carry a gun, that's not including your time at the range training. You should take one class every year. So, but the thing that you got to realize about trafficking is when you're kidnapped, you're going to be restrained generally in one of three ways, and in this order: duct tape, zip ties, handcuffs. Okay, So duct tape being the most common, then zip ties and handcuffs. The zip ties they use are not the good law enforcement zip ties. They're cheap zip ties from Home Depot. They're actually fairly easy to break. So all these are defeatable from inside your car. Even if they're good law enforcement zip ties, they're defeatable from inside your car. So keep that in mind if you're throwing in the back of a van or something like that with one of those three. Those are very easy things to beat. Now here's the thing. You have until the first stop to get out of that vehicle. So you need to raise every bit of hell that you possibly can up until that point. That means pulling out brake lights. That means kicking the trunk open. The latches on trunks are not strong, guys, and it's just, it's fiberglass or aluminum holding that in. It is easy to break those out. Put both feet on there and kick that thing out. I think it was 2001 that they made it. You have to have the pull tab inside the trunk anyway. So there are ways of getting out. Don't feel defeated if you find yourself, God forbid, in this situation. Don't feel defeated. Keep fighting. You have to get out before the first stop. If you make it to the first stop, they're going to take you to a safe place for them, not for you, a safe place where they're going to be able to re-secure you. You're going to be swapped into a different vehicle. You're going to be re-secured. So that way, even if they pull over the vehicle that you were taken in, if somebody saw it, you're going to be in a different vehicle now. So you're gone. Your chances drop to 1% of getting found at that point in time. So once the first stop happens in about 15 minutes, your chances of survival drop to almost zero. So get out before the first stop. This woman did not get out before the first stop, but she kept fighting. Now, we don't know exactly all the details. They haven't released everything yet, and I'm actually going to reach out to her when the time is a little bit more. I don't want to, she just went through this real traumatic incident. I'm going to give her a couple months on this, but I'm actually going to reach out to her in a few months and see if we can have her on and actually talk to her about it. I'd love to kind of, if she's willing to do that, but I don't want to be like a vulture, right swarming to her after this incident happened. So we'll give that some time. So if anybody knows this young woman, we'd love to reach out. You can have her send us an email if she's willing to do it. But like I said, I don't want to be that vulture that attacks her and when she's just dealt with this traumatic incident. But I'd just like to get some awareness and let y'all hear from her perspective. But what it looks like she did is that she fought and she was able to get home. She was 2 days later. So she was home 2 days later. So she is, to my knowledge, currently still at UAB at the hospital here in Birmingham, which is a phenomenal hospital. But she was there at UAB getting treatment and I guess getting checked out and everything. Her boyfriend made a post on Facebook basically asking everybody, hey, kind of give her some space. She's okay, but she just needs some time. And which is totally understandable. So, guys, the bottom line is, make some situational awareness happen around you. Start learning self-defense. Start learning how to see the world in a different light. How to defend yourself with things like a coup baton on your keychain. How to use pepper spray. How to carry a gun. Get a gun and learn how to use it. Take one class a year. One class a year, guys. We do women's classes once a month, and they're not expensive here. I do women's classes for $175. We provide the ammo and the guns. We barely make anything off of that. We do it because it's so important to do. We do men's classes, the ones that we actually make money on, because they bring their own ammo and their own guns, and they come out here for 8 hours. We're really ready to lay down some gunfire. Those ones are a little bit more fun, but the women's class, it's $175. You come out here and we can help you learn how to use those firearms and learn how to use those self-defense things. Our seminars are like $25. You know what I mean? It's not expensive to get this knowledge and to learn how to protect yourself. So I would encourage you guys to check those things out, but check out what's in your area. Obviously, if you're here in Birmingham, I'd like you to come see us, but there are other trainers around. Warrior Poet Society is actually not that far. It's only about 3 hours from us. So there are some really phenomenal training institutes around, but get that training. If she had a little bit of training, there's a lot of things she could have done, even if she didn't recognize it. That's the thing. That's the problem. You won't always recognize those ploys. They're designed to trick you. So even if she didn't recognize that ploy, that was a child being used to traffic her, a little bit of situational awareness could have gone a long way. A little bit of some knowledge with the firearm, some self-defense, carrying a coup baton. I teach all of our students that when they get out, they should have their coup baton in their hand, right? Because they have their car keys in their hand. So this is a very, very natural way to hold my car keys. And then I've got my car keys ready to go, and I've got a defensive weapon right there for really doing some damage. And somebody comes up behind you and grabs you. I mean, something like this, driving it into their knee and into their ribs and then into their neck as you get away, get to your car and drive off. You've got some options. So even not recognizing it and not having the situational awareness to recognize it, or not recognizing the ploy to get you to off guard, you have some defensive options. So guys, I'm going to leave y'all with that. Please like and subscribe to the channel. But really, guys, the point of this video, go check out Sound of Freedom. Learn the things that you need to learn to be safe. Get some awareness, but raise awareness about this child trafficking. The children and the young women that are being trafficked cannot defend themselves. And it is up to us as warriors and as men and as strong women and as people of God to do something about it and to fight back. And we should fight back with, you know, it's like the old Wyatt Earp thing, right? You guys remember that, the Kevin Costner movie where the dad says, you know, you'll recognize that evil, and when you recognize it, you hit as hard as you can and as fast as you can. And that's what we need to be doing. We should be hitting every bit as hard as we can and as fast as we can to make sure that we end these and that this goes away. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.